I will try to slow down a bit and be responsive to you. However, you must understand that I will not provide or discuss any information that should not be revealed to the public because it may jeopardize this case. I have formed a task force consisting of numerous officers from the Logan County Sheriff's Office, Illinois State Police, Lincoln Police Department, FBI, and the Logan County State's Attorney's Office. Assistance from the Illinois Attorney General's Office has also been offered. Illinois State Police crime analysts have been assigned to the case. Every lead is cataloged and assigned to specific officers. Each lead is covered and reported back to the task force. Daily briefings are conducted to ensure all officers are apprised of every detail of the investigation. Illinois State Police crime scene investigators completed their processing of the crime scene late yesterday afternoon. The work has begun to analyze the hundreds of seized items. Photographs, latent prints, blood specimens, DNA, all have to be analyzed and compared to known standards. The forensic evidence in this case is significant, but will take time to complete. The pathologist has listed the cause of death for all 5 victims as blunt force trauma. I will not discuss or speculate what object or weapon may have been used to inflict the injuries. Task force officers and the Logan County State's Attorney's Office have inspected the crime scene. Numerous people have been interviewed and many re-interviewed. The FBI has been apprised of all details of this investigation. As they review the details, they provide suggestions based on their vast experience in investigating multiple murders. They will continue to provide technical assistance as this investigation progresses. It's imperative to note that this residence will remain a crime scene for an indefinite period. It has been boarded up and continues to be surrounded with crime scene tape and no trespassing signs. Anyone caught on the premises will be arrested and charged with trespassing and obstructing justice. Logan County Emergency Management, the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and other area emergency management agencies have coordinated and completed a search of area roads for potential items of evidence that may have been discarded after the homicide was committed. I will not identify any specific item looked for, as that information is specific to this investigation. I appreciate the numerous volunteers and agencies that have participated in this search. Yesterday we reported we have established a tip line, and the number for that tip line is 217-732-3000. Again, that's 217-732-3000. We've received in excess of 100 calls. We appreciate the public's assistance in this matter. I'm going to require that each of you ask one question and allow more reporters the opportunity to ask their questions. Thank you.
Sheriff, can you talk about whether there were injuries other than the blunt force trauma to the victims?
We will not talk about any other injuries other than what the pathologist has told us, that each victim's cause of death was by blunt force trauma.
Could one person have inflicted these wounds on 5 people?
We can't comment on that yet.
Do you have a better idea of the timeline of when they were killed, when the killings took place?
That's information that we can put together, but we cannot comment on that at this time either.
Well, Sheriff, in light of the fact that folks are concerned, apparently the killer is still on the loose, as they say, could one of you speak to the possibility that the killer is someone who the G family knows, that there's some connection?
Well, again, that's information I can't comment upon. I know in reference to your question yesterday about the 18-hour delay that you thought, I believe I tried to explain yesterday that the crime scene itself being processed, we had to wait and see whether we did have a murder scene or a possible murder-suicide scene. And we weren't able to digest that information until the early morning hours of Tuesday. And at that point in time, I believe we took the steps necessary to protect the residents of Beason. And also, we had a heavy police presence in Beason during that time. At no time would I ever put the public of Logan County or anybody else in jeopardy, you know, by not saying something. And that's why we waited so long. We had to know what we had before we could make any decisions in that regard.
Was there any sign of a break-in?
At this point in time, that's information we can't give out.
What's the status of the 3-year-old as of today?
The status of the 3-year-old today, she is still in critical condition, but she's stable in that condition. Right now, the information we're getting is we expect her to continue to recover.
Sheriff, do we have a time of death for the victims?
That's information I'm not going to release at this time.
Why, Sheriff?
Because I'm not. That's part of the investigation. And that stuff, that's evidence that still has to be analyzed yet. As I said, we just concluded the scene yesterday afternoon. All the evidence has been taken to be analyzed, and I'm not going to speculate just to put something out to you. When I put something out, I want to be factual.
So you're not certain yet?
about the crime scene being off limits, no trespassing. Have people attempted to get into the home or near the home?
No, I'm not saying that at all. At this point in time, I just want to give people an opportunity to know that if we do catch somebody there, we will arrest you.
What kind of police presence will area residents see from now?
Well, we've always had a police presence in Beason, and we're going to continue. But we will intensify simply because, you know, we want to catch whoever's out there. And we've always had a police presence.
Sheriff, where are you on locating that gray primer truck? Do you have any calls on people knowing what that truck is, where it's at?
Yes, we've had, like I said, over 100 calls, and we have stopped some vehicles, but that did not fit the description. They would fit a partial of the description. Like we're looking for a Ford Ranger, which is a smaller body Ford. We've gotten calls on Ford F-150s, Chevy Silverados. We're looking for the smaller version of
So
those
for
vehicles.
sure you're looking for a Ford Ranger, because yesterday you said it could be a Chevy S10.
Well, we're looking for both because it could be either, but I just used the Ford Ranger for the example there.
Sheriff, we've had a lot of people in the community ask us about that death in Beason City about a month ago. Any connection there? Are we seeing any similar signs to that?
Well, I don't know the specifics to the death in Mason City, but but right now I would say no, but I'm not going to not look at everything. I mean, if it is, we'll look at it, but right now I'm going to say no.
What's the FBI's involvement?
They're just bringing us their expertise to the table, more eyes to try to analyze everything we're looking at.
But it's like a behavior unit or something?
Well, it's going to be whatever unit that we ask for. I mean, the call was made, and we just want more eyes and more bodies in order to try to solve this crime.
Sheriff, court records show child parentage and child support.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't hear you.
Sorry, court records show child support issues and child parentage issues with the family. Are you considering that as possible motive?
I guess I'm not understanding. I mean, you're talking about child support payments and things along that line?
Court cases of child support with Ruth G. and Rick G. and the family and the children. There's also some parentage cases in the Logan court system.
I mean, if you're talking about any past cases the family may have had with DCFS, I have no comment or information.
Thank you.
Has Logan County had any contact with the family prior to this incident?
That's information that we have that we're going to use with our investigation. So I'm not going to release any information on that.
How does the investigation change? It's been 72 hours. Do you tell us a little bit about your tactics and how it changes once we get 72 hours and further away from the crime itself?
Well, right now, I don't believe our tactics are going to change. We're going to continue to run down every lead or tip that we get, and then we're also going to continue to work on whatever information that we get from the supporting services that are here. I mean, so our tactics aren't going to change. We're going to keep going forward with a strong effort to resolve this incident.